Hello, welcome. I'm STG Sandhya, Assistant Professor, Department of CSC, Gokraju Rangraju Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this part of the lecture, we will try to see the implementation of switch case. So we all know that switch is a multi-way decision-making statement in C. So we will see one of its implementation today. Also, as a part of a lab, there is a program called Lab Task 3B in which we are going to see the code today. So the lab task 3B is the program should request the user to input two numbers and display one of the following as per the desire of the user. So option 1 is sum of two numbers, option 2 is difference of two numbers, option C is product of two numbers, and option D is division of two numbers. So we got to write a C program using the switch case statement to accomplish the above task. So dear students, I now take you through two different coding platforms. We have been executing on a Turbo C platform, but today I would like to show you a new platform called as online compilers. Online compilers are those which provide, which becomes very handy whenever we work from a different places. We don't have a software installed, then we can prefer any one of the online compilers available. Like there are a lot, as I told you already, and one of them, REPL.it, my compiler, and programmers. These are the usual compilers that I refer to, but one that I use a lot is JDoodle. JDoodle is that online compiler that I generally write a lot. So today I'm going to show you the execution on this online compiler called JDoodle. So if you wish to store your programs on JDoodle, you can always log in and sign in using your Gmail account or any other account, any mail ID. But I signed in and this is my account. So this is usually it is seen. So let me introduce you to this platform. This is an online C compiler. You can select the language here. There are a large number of languages available. JDoodle supports almost 70 languages. You can select any language that you want to write to. Because we're doing a C program, I selected C language. This is how basically it looks. Okay, here in this part, you got to write your code. And then if you are using any command line arguments, you got to type in here. Otherwise, if you're giving any inputs, that inputs need to be given here. That inputs, whatever you need to give it, you got to give here. And again, after you're done, when you want to execute, you got to click in this execute button so that the output is seen here. For example, I just wrote a simple sum of two numbers program. So when I said execute and gave this input, that run and produced me the output here. Suppose I want to change, I give some other input, say 10 and 20, and then execute so that the output is given here. The output is 30. So the output is seen on the black screen. So if I click this button, then I'll see everything parallelly. So this is a place where I can do my parallel substitution. So here I am going to see how are we supposed to, do this problem called lab task 3B. What is lab task 3B? You got to use a switch statement and slowly, start executing on this. So therefore, let me have the comment section to understand the question properly. Yes. This is multiple line comments. So if you have multiple line comments, then you put a slash and a star and write down your program. This is lab task 3B. So we are also executing this lab task 3B today. Let's take a minute's time and start writing int main, stdr.h, int main. You got to ask two numbers and one choice, right? So therefore, comma choice. Okay. Choice, let us name it as short ch. Choice is my choice, which I'm adding. So now we are asked to enter two numbers. So for better understanding, you can always write this printf /n is for new line. Enter two numbers. Enter two numbers. Okay, so this is what your numbers are, x and y. And then you should again write a printf statement that asks you for a choice, isn't it? So what is the choice? According to the program, 1 for addition. Okay, you got to press 1 if you got to add, 2 for subtraction, 3 for multiplication, that is product, and 4 for quotient, that is division. So this is what we are asked. If you want, you can put one more, that is quotient and remainder also, but that's absolutely your wish. So yes, we put something for the fourth one for division, and then you ask the people to enter choice. Enter choice. Okay. Here you are, you would love to ask them to ask choice. So therefore you will ask a choice and then they will enter the choice. Choice is again an integer. So therefore read your integer scanf. How do you read your integer? scanf percentile D, comma, ampersand CH. You read your choice here. So they'll enter any one of the choice after entering the two numbers. So how do you write it? So switch is written using the keyword switch. So switch of choice. We break according to the choice. So therefore choice. What does the switch have? A case followed by a value. So case one, I'm talking about addition. So therefore I'll do result is equal to A plus B, or simply I'll write a printf statement, in right slash n. I'm just writing a simple statement, percentile D plus percentile D is equal to percentile D. We are just writing a simple code, comma, A, comma, B, comma, sorry, this is X and Y, right? So X, comma, Y, comma, what is the output? You can also have, some operations happening in a printf statement. So I wrote A plus B. And it is, once you're done with addition, it is good to terminate it with a break. Break can be written here, or you can also, write it like this. This is also can be done. This is case one. Like that, you write multiple cases. So for time being, let's just copy it. Okay. So this is a place where you write. Yes, here you go. We are writing case two. Case two stands for subtraction. So therefore, I write percentile D minus percentile D is equal to percentile D X minus Y. And then you put in to write another case value. Okay. You go ahead and put another case value, that's case 3. And again, you go ahead and put another case value, that's case 4. So what is case 3? Now, if I do this and run my program, it throws me an error because the case labels must be unique. We all know that. Case 3 stands for multiplication. So I put product and the output is changed to X cross Y. And here we are trying to do division. So therefore, I write X by Y. Okay, so just change it to by. And what is the need of a default statement? We all know the default statement is used when no match is found. Suppose if people, put in another choice, which is not 1, 2, and 3, and 4, then we require a default statement that usually tells us DEFAULT, a default statement that usually tells us that we are doing something wrong. So therefore, how does this default statement work? So you have a printf statement, inside you write /n, enter some valid choice. Because you are asked to enter only from 1 to 4 and you're not entering that, you're asked to enter some valid choice. So therefore, you're asked to enter a valid choice and you close this business with an optional break. Because default can be placed anywhere inside a switch, you can have a break. So the last statement, you can just have an end to understand how is the flow going. So therefore, I prefer writing this end as the statement text to understand where is the flow going. Because you are written int main, it's compulsory to return a value, so therefore return 0. This is an online C compiler in which I tried a program. We are trying to make a choice 1, 2, 3, 4. These programs are also called as menu-driven programs. So this is how I execute. So how do you execute? We'll see how are we going to execute. When I just say execute and check, it's throwing me like it's taking a lot of time. And what is it giving me? It's expecting some inputs. Since the inputs are not given, it's just holding on. So therefore, what do? Keep it interactive. Interactive expects you to, put in some this one timeout. So therefore, keep it interactive and start executing. It waits for you to put in some this one. So it's waiting for you to give your input. So what are the two numbers? 10 and 20 are my two numbers. I pressed enter, then I got to give the choice. The choice is 1. So therefore, yes, enter two numbers. Okay, and the two numbers are 10 and 20. Because the choice is 1, it gave me the answer. Okay, so this is the output. This is what I got to get. Enter two numbers. This is the choice I gave. This is how I got. So again, let's try to execute once again. Okay. So let's try and wait once again and try to see how is it working. Okay, let me give 10 and 7 and let me press the input as 6. Okay, some input 7. We know that 7 is not in that range. So what is the output that you're giving? It gets enter some valid choice. You'll get the answers clearly because this is an interactive mode. You're getting like this. If you take this off and you can give it in the command section. Okay, if I take this interactive off, then this is the place that you can submit your inputs for these outputs. Suppose if the choice is 10 and 20, and if the choice is 2, that is subtraction, then you can execute like this. and it produces output for you. Okay, 10 minus 20 is minus 10. Okay, so this is how you can execute. Okay, let me also show you how does this gets executed using a platform, using a Turbo C compiler as well. So here is my program using a Turbo C compiler. So here is my program using a Turbo C compiler. That's I'm having a program, and then let us see the execution of this. So this is a basic program. Again, as you have choices, you are asked to enter choices. So choices 1, 2, 3, 4 on a Turbo C platform. So let's run the program and check for the output. Yes. Enter two numbers. I said 6 and 9, and I wanted a choice. Quotient remainder also I have added. So therefore, let me put 3 multiplication. So therefore, the product is 54. If I put any other choice other than this, I put 6 and 7, and I put some choice other than this. Suppose my choice is 10, then what do I get? It just prints an invalid choice. So this is how you can use various options and still execute your programs. And this is one of such examples where I use JDoodle platform to get the job done. So this is about Lab Task 3B. Now I recommend you to, re-execute your Lab Task 3B following the same rules, but taking character cases. Assume that the cases are A, B, C, D, and then how do you do it? That's what I recommend you to do it. Take the character cases and try to solve the problem on your own. Good day.